So, Gary, I'm going to bring it to you next.
Mhm.
Factor cap. The Browns regret trading for Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
Let me give you some
Ooh.
background on this trade. They traded 3 first-round picks, 1
Oh,
third,
wow.
and a fourth. They got Deshaun Watson and a 6 back in the fourth. In 10 games that they have had Deshaun Watson, he has thrown for less than 2,000 yards and completed less than 60% of his passes. On average this season, he's averaging 170 yards per passing. Let me tell you some guys that average more than 170 yards per passing. Daniel Jones
Dark
at
Ritter.
177s. Zach Wilson, 182 yards per game. Ryan Tannehill, Gardner Minshew,
Bottom of the bottom right
Joshua
now.
Dobbs. And then we have the elites of the elites when you go Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. But I really wanted to target those bottom quarterbacks because when you pay somebody $235 million, you're expecting better. So, Gary, factor cap. The Browns regret trading for Deshaun Watson.
Shockingly, the way you set it up, Kev, it would sound like I'd go fact, but man, I got to go cap for this one just yet again. It's kind of on my first one why I went cap. It's the pump the brakes this year. He's playing bad for sure, not playing great. You had to think about interception, threw 5 passes the other day, both hurt, boom, boom. Hasn't been playing too much this season already. Got injured last year. We already know he dealt with a whole bunch of stuff too as well, not just that. So before he came into this season, but he has had some, obviously, when he was a Texans, before his whole debacle happened and things of that nature, off the field stuff happened. He was doing some great things. Even though they did lose a game versus KC on the comeback, but he was changing life in Texans, and we're seeing some greatness out of him. And so, going through that off field, you put the toll on you, I bet. And not be able to focus on football and that being number one priority takes a toll on you. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt still. And I'm going to say that he's going to get together hopefully by the end of the year. And we're going to see flashes of him because you got to think about it's only 6 games really since, he's been playing since a year and a half. And I remember I was saying I'll at least give him till the half a year, 75% to see a little bit glimpses. The bad thing is we haven't seen no glimpses, Kev. We haven't seen no glimpses. That's the issue. You want to see a little bit something that can give you some hope. So the Browns, I feel like from the get-go, the whole league said you guys are idiots, per usual, and they got to be happy that they're 4-2 and winning with this defense that they have. But they're idiots because they gave him a fully guaranteed when he didn't deserve it, and especially what he came off of not being a role model citizen off the field. Simple as that he didn't deserve that as well. So the league, Lamar was waiting for his money. Like, this guy got it, 100% guaranteed. I got to get 100% guaranteed. That's how it's been going. And they all just chalked it up to. That's the Browns being the Browns, guys. Sorry, QB. They're the idiots of the field. We're not going to follow their way. We're not going to follow their trend. So, yeah, we're not going to pay the next guy because they don't want to start that trend. You know how that was going to go. I was going to start doing 100. Then, boom, you're going to see a receiver get 100. They don't want to start that NFL. That's what they're not. They're not trying to be the NBA, which is sad because you would think how much gruesome stuff they go through on that field and how much they get smacked. They don't get to have 100% guaranteed money, which they should. So what they put the bodies through. So it's cap. They're not regretting it just yet. They're regretting the trade stuff like you mentioned. They're regretting that for sure. Looking back at it, they get way too much up, especially the situation he was in. The hell? You could have got him for way less. The Texans didn't want to deal with him, so they were going to give him for way less. So they gave him for what they had Baker Mayfield at the time. So they really wanted to get off that. So they paid a hefty price to get off that. But I don't think they're regretting him as a player just yet. I think they're going to give him a little more time, but they for sure regretting the trade in terms of the details. Since day one, that was looking dumb. It's looking real dumber now.
Toddy, I'm going to bring it to you next. Factor cap. The Browns are regretting trading for Deshaun Watson.
Absolute fact. He looks god-awful, and I don't know what it is. Is this just another Russell Wilson type? I feel like it's literally identical to Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson was old. This guy's old.
Yeah, the contract, how he's been playing, you kind of look at his previous the situation. It's like apples to oranges. I feel like it's the exact same thing. Deshaun Watson, they kept him out of the game. He was cleared to come back in the game, but they clearly let him sit with his big ass jacket on indoors on the sideline while PJ Walker pretty much won them the game. I don't know, man. Just Deshaun. The whole, fiasco that happened with him off the field. He's not the same player that he once was. Him being in Houston, he was like a top 6-7 quarterback when he was in Houston, winning playoff games with the old Billy O'Brien. But, there wasn't really like an injury that kind of like deterred him or anything like that. He kind of just, missed a bunch of games.
He did have injury before he got to it. Remember, before he got scandal, he did get a little injured, I think, and his surgery or something.
He was out for the 12 games, and then, you know, the whole offseason happened. He had everyone saying, you know, with the whole offseason, the Browns team could be, you know, pretty dangerous. And they just been dangerously bad. And Deshaun Watson, I mean, the Browns are stuck with that $230 million contract. They traded all those picks away for him. The Browns are stuck, man. And I don't think Deshaun Watson is any good. I mean, I feel like this is just what he is now. And it's shocking to say it. I was just like, kind of just, you know, I can't believe that he's this bad. Like, what happened? I don't know what happened. So I think this is a fact for sure.
Uncle Manny says Deshaun's just not the same without the massages. Fact or cap? The Browns regret trading for Deshaun Watson. I'm going to say fact. Not only because he's playing bad, because of the opportunity with those 3 first-round picks. We see that they have holes in receivers. We see that they have holes in their secondary. Myles Garrett is single-handedly carrying this defense. They have Denzel Ward. They could have other pieces on this team. They could use other pieces with those first-round picks, but because they went in for Deshaun Watson, now looking back at it, he's not playing the way you guys want him to. They're sitting there watching PJ Walker go in there and win games. That's not what you paid your guy to do. You didn't pay him to sit there with a big jacket indoors. You just didn't do it. You paid for a top 5 quarterback. You paid for Deshaun Watson up 28 AFC Championship game versus the Chiefs. That's what you paid for, and you haven't gotten it. So your return on investment is shit. So fact or cap, you have to go fact. They're regretting it 100%.